A woman who had been pregnant for 3 years suddenly gave birth to a pair of eerie twins. The older sister was covered from head to toe in black hair. She looked like a vicious demon with a terrifying face. Before the father could recover from the shock, the younger sister who was born second also showed signs of a problem, although there was nothing unusual about her appearance. Her bloody right leg looked as if it had been chewed by something. The distraught father instantly broke down. The doctor explained that the younger sister's leg injury had been caused by the older sister constantly biting her in the womb. Some people believed the older sister was a harbinger of disaster. They said she would bring misfortune and calamity to the family. They advised the father to deal with her as soon as possible. The doctor also stated that the older sister was born doomed to a short life and would die before long. Soft-hearted as he was, the father decided to let the older sister fend for herself. But the moment he made that decision, the crows in the sky immediately became restless. The village dogs began howling frantically. Even the normally docile flock of sheep suddenly became agitated. All of these strange occurrences seemed to foretell that something terrible was about to happen. The mother died mysteriously without warning 1 week later. As for the father, 1 month later, he smilingly hanged himself from a ceiling beam. But the older sister did not die young as the doctor had predicted. Instead, she miraculously survived. In the blink of an eye, 16 years passed. Their grandfather, who made a living raising dogs, kept the older sister locked inside a storage shed. He only fed her once a day. Their grandmother, a devout Christian, firmly believed that one day the older sister would get better. Every night she prayed for her, although nothing abnormal seemed to happen to the younger sister. The scar on her leg left a deep psychological wound, because chaos followed wherever the older sister was. The family had moved several times over the past 16 years. As a result, the younger sister had no friends. She became extremely withdrawn, so their grandfather decided to move to this remote rural village and never leave again. But only 3 weeks after they arrived, the village's largest cattle farmer suffered a disaster. Nearly 100 cows were on the verge of dying. Since even the veterinarian could not determine the cause, the farmer invited a shaman to perform an exorcism. He hoped the sick cattle could stand up again, but despite using every method available, the shaman still failed to save the last cow. Later, the farmer told her that ever since a family of outsiders had moved into the village, strange incidents had been happening frequently, so the shaman went to investigate. The younger sister's family, however, was already used to such things. The moment she saw the shaman and her group approaching aggressively, she rushed home to warn everyone. The family quickly drew the curtains and locked all the doors and windows. No matter how much the shaman knocked and shouted outside, they gave no response at all. They acted as though nothing was happening. Later, villagers told the shaman that they could hear a girl crying every night, so she and her assistant began investigating in secret. But as soon as they followed the sound of the crying into the shed, they saw a sinister aura filling the area ahead. Even the dogs inside the cages did not dare bark recklessly. Feeling uneasy, the shaman immediately took out a willow branch for protection. She also began chanting exorcism spells, but just as she was about to reach the door, a snake suddenly shot out from beneath her feet. It bit her ankle in a single strike. Seeing more snakes slithering out through the gap under the door, the dogs on both sides started growling and barking as well. The shaman realized that whatever was inside was beyond her ability to handle. She hurriedly told her assistant to get her out of there.